Hi, welcome back. So your quote for this week is an amazing one. As soon as I saw it a few days ago, I was like, that's getting shared on the podcast. It's from Ross Harkness, and it says, "The harshest but most freeing truth is that your life is your responsibility. Nobody else can choose your direction. Nobody else can make the changes you need to make or do the work you know you need to do. Nobody else can make the sacrifices you have to make. No one else can sit down behind that desk, open that laptop and work. Nobody else can learn the lessons you need to learn, embrace the struggle you have to face to make the mistake that you have to make. Nobody else can save you. And that's tough, but it's also fucking glorious because it means your life is in your hands. It means how far you go and how high you rise up is completely up to you. It means you can achieve anything you want to achieve and do anything you want to do, but it all comes down to a single choice. Do you rise and become all that you could be? Or do you live with the weight of knowing that you didn't? I really love that. And he does share business content, but I know that we can see this from a health point of view as well. I live by the idea of taking radical responsibility for yourself, taking radical responsibility for your health, your decisions, your behaviors, your relationships, where you are in the world in terms of work. Like we have we a lot of us put so much blame and look for reasons why we can't do a thing, when really it's very empowering to know that we have full control. We are able to achieve what we want to achieve. But in order to do that, we have to do the work. We have to take responsibility from it. And we can't blame others for not getting the outcome. We have to, stay strong in what we're working towards and do the things that we need to do. So, for example, a client of mine who I'm working with one-to-one kept saying that her husband wakes up and makes her toast for breakfast, and she sees her husband have toast for breakfast, and so she wants toast for breakfast. And my response was, it doesn't matter what your husband is having. Your goals are your goals, and you have to eat a high protein breakfast in order to be nourished, be healthy, and achieve the goal. You need to manage your hunger, and so protein's important. So we can't put it on the husband. It's not the husband's fault that he wakes up and makes her toast. It's her fault for not setting that boundary of, listen, love, I don't want toast this morning. I'm going to have this yogurt bowl instead. Now, she's made that change. We've had that conversation. She's made that change. But that's an example of taking radical responsibility for your results. If your routine currently looks one way and someone in your life is expecting a certain behavior from you, it's up to you to let them know that that behavior is no longer something that you want, or that choice, that breakfast, that meal, that habit of drinking after work every night, whatever it is. It's up to you to let them know that you've got a goal and you've decided that you're not going to go along with that anymore, and have that conversation. If that person pushes back, if that person tries to convince you otherwise, just let them know that they're not helping you, and that, you have to do this for yourself, and that what they're, them distracting you isn't helpful. So I don't know, I just thought it was a really good quote. I love the idea of radical responsibility. We all need it. When I started taking radical responsibility for my life, everything changed. I've got a better relationship. I've got better habits. I've got my business. I take so much responsibility for every interaction that I have with people, and I'm always reflecting on how I could have done things better and what outcome I'm trying to get all the time. And I really would encourage you to not blame the world and not blame your situation. There's been many, many times where I have done that, and, sometimes fall back in that trap. But I have to remember that it's up to me. It's on me. If I want to feel healthier, if I want to reach a certain goal, if I want to achieve certain things within my business, then there are things that I have to do. And that might not always be popular with me or the people around me, but that's what's needed in order to achieve what I want to achieve. So yeah, I thought that was a good one, and I hope that you can relate to it in some way, or at least take some value from it. So we're here for our weekly community Q&A. I absolutely love this part of the week. I look like a boiled egg today. I've done a little slick back with some conditioner because I'm going to have a nice pamper evening this evening. I spoke to the team at Lift and Glow earlier today, and I said, I don't think my nervous system has been okay for the last 3 months since opening the new gym. I feel like I'm back in 2022 where like I'm feeling quite stressed, if I'm honest, and I'm handling it so much better than I did back in 2022. But I feel like I need a little breather. So I'm going to have a little pamper night tonight. I'm going to take advice that I give to people. I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to get in the bath without my phone, and I'm going to read, and I'm going to finish that book that I've been trying to finish for the last 4 months. So this is just explaining the boiled egg situation, because I don't often wear a slicker back. It's just not my jam. So here for our Q&A, we're going to do some wins, and then I've got loads of questions. I know that this is going to be valuable, so buckle up and get ready to learn. So we're going to start off with wins. Jess. I'm really proud of Jess. Jess has had a little sticky little road in the last few weeks. She said, I'm scared to say this out loud, but going to the gym feels automatic now. The constant mental battle of whether I'm going or not has gone so quiet. It used to take up so much energy to convince myself to go, whereas now it's just part of what I do. It's who I am. That shift feels like a huge win, and that is a huge win. What we have to remember, it's like this phase that I'm in now with business. When something's new, when there's a shift in routine, when you start a new habit, when you start a new behavior, you've got to be intentional with it. You've got to think about it. You've got to do it. And it feels like hard work. That alarm feels hard. You haven't yet seen the benefits. It feels tough, and you're like, will this ever get easier? And then before you know it, after a few months in your routine, you're like, wow, this is actually just part of who I am. This is just what I do. And that's exactly where Jess is now, which is amazing. I used to really, really struggle getting the gym. I argued with myself until I was blue. Honestly, I used to look for reasons to get out of it. I used to ask my work colleagues to convince me not to go. Should we go for dinner? Oh, you need to go for dinner, don't you? Or just looking for ways out constantly, and looking to blame others as well. And now I just don't think about it. It's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you do strength at Lift and Glow, and that's it. Like, it's automatic, and obviously it's took time to get to that. And all of you, every single woman listening to this, every single one, without a doubt, can also be in where Jess is and where I am. If you're at the start of your journey, the first 6 months, the first year of your journey, even, it feels hard and it's like a struggle. Oh, I've got to do this. And it might feel tough. But all of a sudden it does become automatic. It just becomes something that you do that fits nicely into your routine and doesn't take up all that brain power anymore. And that's an amazing place to be. So well done, Jess. I am very proud. We've got Ellie. Ellie was very intentional with herself in the gym, and she really pushed herself and upped her weights. She also said when she was lifting above her head, she could see more muscle definition, which encouraged her more and made her feel really proud. I love that. Now, there's a lot of people out there who say that mirrors in the gym are not a good thing, and I do get that, because we shouldn't be fixating on how we look all the time. But what I will say is, when you're lifting in the gym, you start to see your muscles work, and you're like, oh my gosh, I never used to have that muscle. I never used to be able to see that muscle. It's also great for seeing technique and everything. So we have mirrors at Lift and Glow, and we always will, because we find our members squat better. If I give them a cue about their shoulders or their core or their ribs, people are quicker with it when they can see themselves. But I also love that you can see your progress in the mirror when you're in the gym. And this just feels good. Ellie, I know exactly how this feels, to see muscles working that maybe you couldn't see in the past, and this is great. So well done. I'm proud of you and all of your hard work and consistency. You've been absolutely smashing it in 2026. You should be so proud. And then we've got Hayley. Hayley had a period of really poor health. Like, she actually couldn't walk. She couldn't get out of bed. She was not okay. This is a huge fucking win. She did 3 workouts this week, and she's so proud of herself for it. Hayley, I'm so proud of you. You've really, really rebuilt your health. And, her health problems were not gym related. They were completely unexpected. They came on gradually, and then all of a sudden, and she was literally bedridden, which is just so insane, to the point where she was unable to have the energy to even walk. And now she's back doing her workouts. She did say that them 17.5 dumbbells that she used to use are looking at her, and she'll be having them in a few months, I hope. And I really, really do think that you will. Your strength will grow. You just got to keep working. Make sure you listen to your body. Give it rest when you need it. Okay, I love them wins. They made me feel really happy. You put a smile on my face. So let's go through a couple of things that people are finding challenging, and then we're going to go through the questions. So I've got 8 weeks till my holiday, and my goal is to lose £7. Totally doable if you are in your calorie deficit, if you keep your steps nice and high, and you stay consistent at the gym. To help with that, I've started using the Lift and Glow food tracker app, but I haven't completed a full day this week. How do you approach tracking when in a fat loss phase? Do you do it all on a Sunday for the week? So 2 ways, right? If you're busy, if your week just disappears and it's carnage, then I do highly recommend 10 minutes on a Sunday to plan your week. And it's as easy as just, I think people underestimate tracking food is not about tracking food on the day. You need to see it not like a meal tracker, but like a meal planner, okay? So on a Sunday, you might be like, right, I've done my food shop, I've got a protein, yogurt and fruit every day. I'll just put that in for every day now. Okay, I've done my food shop. I know I'm going to have a tuna wrap on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I know I'm going to have a chicken salad on Tuesday, Thursday, and I know on Saturday that I'm going to Nando's for my lunch. Great. Put it all in the app there and then if you know that. Dinner, put your dinners in. Okay, a lot of the time, I know a lot of people don't, but if you do a weekly food shop and you buy those big food shops every week, you do have an idea in mind of what your meals are going to look like. And if you don't, you need to do it. You need to think about what your meal's going to look like, then do your list and then go food shopping. Okay. Like no one ever taught me really how to do a food shop, but I watched my mom plan out, like think, right, I'm having stir fry for tea. You know, she was a single mom. She's busy. She had to things had to be planned out. Things had to be organized. And she was like, right, we'll have stir fry, we'll have this, we'll have that. Right, okay. Then she'd do a shopping list and then we'd go and do the food shop. Makes perfect sense and it helps with your meal planning. So you can do it on a Sunday if you know everything that you're having on a Sunday. So that's one option. Your other option is if you're a little bit more last minute is to do it the night before. So the last thing you do before you get away from your phone for the evening is track your food for the following day. What's in the fridge? Okay, so I know that I've got eggs and I know I've got half an avocado. I'm going to have eggs, half an avocado and a piece of toast for breakfast tomorrow. Okay, put it in your meal tracker. And then lunch, okay, I know I've got some leftover dinner from tonight, right, that'll go in. I need to go to the shop, I know I'll get some salmon, I'll get some veg, I'll put that in now, okay, and I'll go to the shop on the way home from work. So you're still planning in advance, you're still doing it as a meal planner, it's just the night before. Because when you wake up in the morning and your kids are like, Mom, you're feeding them, then you get into school and then you've got you need to know before the day begins what you are eating. Okay, this is the best way if you are in a calorie deficit and you're trying to manage your food. Being organized is going to save your life. Okay, it's going to make it all so much easier, so much more simple. So either plan the whole week on a Sunday, or you can loosely plan on a Sunday and then each night go in and tweak it. Please do not track as you go. Don't eat your breakfast and then track it. Don't do that. You will not hit your targets. Don't then eat your lunch and then track it and then go, I'll have a snack, track that. I'll have dinner and track. No. We need forward thinking. Those are the people who get results, is when they think ahead. Do not wing it. It will not work. Especially if you've got this strict goal of £7 in 8 weeks. You really want to be on it, and being organised is going to save you. If you have a busy day, so say tomorrow you wake up and shit hits the fan, you don't need to worry because you know what you're eating. It's all there for you and you don't need to think about it. It actually takes the decision making away from you because you've already thought about it. And it stops all this, what should we have for tea? Don't know. What should you have? What should we have? I don't know. Just, it's already decided. It got decided when you were calm last night. All done. Okay. We had another little struggle that I wanted to read out. My nutrition is still not great. I haven't been eating well, usually only 1 or 2 meals a day, and the rest tends to be snacks. I think I'm getting the ick with my breakfast. I'm really struggling to eat breakfast, and my usual yogurt is giving me the ick. I've tried other breakfast, but in need of a new go-to breakfast. So I feel like you read my mind, because last week when I got back from Italy, I didn't have my meal preps and I didn't have chicken sausages, and I was just really, really struggling. I was like, I don't know what to eat for breakfast in the morning. And also I've had a huge, sorry to make this about me, but I've had a huge routine shift in the last few weeks. I used to wake up, work from home, start work at 8 a.m. Well, go to the gym at 8 a.m. And then start work. Whereas now I'm up at 5:30, I'm back in the gym for 6:30 every single day, 5 days a week, well, 6 days a week now. So I'm like, what do I eat at 5:30 in the morning? And what can I eat at the gym if I can't heat something up? And I'm all up the wall, and it's a little bit like this. Yogurt is just not doing it for me. So there's two options here, okay? Your first option is you change your yogurt. So this is just so simple. Fran did the food shop for me, and he bought these Marxies 25 gram of protein honeycomb yogurts, and I ate it this morning, and I was like, hallelujah, a change. It's not that plain boring yogurt. It's not that vanilla yogurt that I've got the ick with. I've got a different flavour. It seems different, and I like it. Okay. You also in that same bracket is, okay, you don't want to eat the fruit and yogurt, but you know that it's going to do you good, so just eat it anyway. It's that whole like, didn't want to do it, did it anyway. I feel fueled. It is what it is. So there's that whole thing, you eat, like I never used to want to eat chicken sausages as soon as I woke up. And by the way, I'm going to stock up on them again because I need savoury in my life. But I've never once woke up and gone, can't wait for my cold chicken sausages. But I just ate them anyway. And I knew that if I ate them, I could reward myself with a little coffee. It helped me take my supplements. And so I'm not really one to be like thrilled or excited about eating really early. But I do it as I've got to do it. It's just something that I got to do. Okay. So there's that like avenue, is that like, it doesn't really matter what you feel like, girl. It's that's the thing that's going to benefit your health. You want to live a healthy life. And so that's what you do. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was of a PT, and she says that 4:30 in the morning she has overnight oats, and she has that every day. And the person was like, oh, early, and didn't want to, basically didn't like the sound of the meal. And she was like, yeah, I'm the same, but I have to eat it, otherwise I'm not going to be fueled for the day. And so I just do it. And it's a case of like just doing what you need to do and not what you feel like doing. So that's that. Or your other option is to find an alternative breakfast. So for me, yeah, I'm going to alternate between the yogurt and the chicken sausages, because I just think then I can't really get bored of either. I did do a little bit of research because I was like, I need savoury. And I was really, really intrigued by this recipe. And I'm pretty sure someone in the community, maybe the gym, used to make these. But they're basically breakfast. What were they? Breakfast. I want to say muffins, but I don't mean muffins that are like bready. They're like egg, cottage cheese, and something else. And you put them in like a baking tray and you bake them. And it basically just said to have like 2 or 3 every morning. So you prep them, you put them in a tub in the fridge, and every morning you can either heat them up or you can eat them cold, and you just have them. And I was like really intrigued and thought, you know what, I'm going to buy a baking tray and have a little go at doing them. And they were really easy. It was just like in a bowl, you mix together eggs. If you just search high protein breakfast, was it muffin? I feel like it's not muffin, but it must be. If you search high protein breakfast muffin, I think you will find options there. So give that a go. Maybe you've got the ick with the sweet stuff and you need something savoury, or maybe the fruit and yogurt just isn't hitting, and maybe you need to do like protein overnight oats, so you can use chocolate protein powder, or you can use vanilla protein powder, and put some nuts or nut butter. Maybe you just need a change. But all of these things are still grab and go, but they do require a bit of prep. So I always prep my chicken sausages, and then they do me for a few days. With these muffins, you prep them one night, they do you for a few days. With your overnight oats, you can make 3 days in one go, and they'll do you for 3 days. It's not as grab and go, but it does take a bit of prep, but they're different options for you. So give them a little whirl. But I do totally get this. When you eat on repeat, and when you've then like been on holiday and got out of the routine of eating that thing, and that thing just feels like, oh, I don't want that. It's hard to get back into it. But I do truly believe that our taste buds adjust to what we give them. And so if I continue to just keep eating the thing, I'll get used to it. I do think that that's the same for you. It's not that you don't like the thing, it's just that you don't feel like it anymore. And it doesn't really matter what we feel like, we just eat it. Okay, plenty of questions coming through. So, twice a week we have a roast dinner. Do I need to make any adaptations to help with fat loss. A typical plate would be chicken. So how much chicken? Does it have enough protein? When you say chicken, I want to see a full chicken breast. Okay, like if you're having a whole chicken between a family of 4, I want you to have a whole chicken breast, or half the chicken breast and half the leg. That whole chicken should be split into 4. With me, I have a chicken breast and my husband has the other 3/4 of the chicken. So making sure you're having that full chicken breast so you're getting enough protein. She said vegetables. Okay, vegetables could be roasted in loads of oil, loads of butter, or they could be steamed, or they could be boiled. So I don't know about the calories. I can't be specific. Vegetables sounds good. How are we cooking them? How are we preparing them? But yeah, vegetables sounds great. Let's think palmful of chicken, 2 handfuls of veggies. Obviously not laced in butter or oil if you can help it, because you've got your roasties. 3 roasties. Now this is normally like, they're usually like that big. That big. Don't know why I'm being in a silly mood today. So if you're having 3 normal size roasties, all good. If your roasties are large, then might be too big. You said that they're cooked in oil, so these are obviously going to be, there's fats there. So 3 doesn't sound over the top to me, especially if they're like normal size roasties. You've said 4 tablespoons of stuffing. This might be the thing that I might be saying, just bin that. I don't know how you're making your stuffing. My stuffing is indulgent. It's made with sausage meat and all the other stuff. So it depends. A lot of people put like flour in them and all of that. So stuffing is probably the thing that I might go, can we bail that? It doesn't look like you're having Yorkshire puddings or anything like that. But on the whole, if you have chicken breast, vegetables, and 3 roast potatoes with a bit of gravy, that's a great meal. I would say I eat that at least once a week. And so I can't see anything wrong with that. And it doesn't seem over excessive. If I was you, next time you have that meal, take a picture of it, send it to me, and let me get an actual eye on the meal. Because when you say a list of ingredients, that's one thing. But I always like to see portion sizes before I fully commit to a response. So sounds okay. Would love to see a photo. Next question, is it bad to have a protein shake and a protein yogurt in one day alongside natural sources of protein for lunch and evening meal? I have a shake for banana for breakfast, a shake and a banana for breakfast, and then the yogurt with berries for a snack. I don't think that this is bad, no. I think that we have to accept that sometimes we do need to eat for convenience. I personally wouldn't respond that well to those foods. But if you do, keep doing it. What I don't like to see is if people are having protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and we're relying so much on supplements. I want whole foods. I love real food. If this is quick, if it's easy for you, keep doing it. That's absolutely fine. If anyone listening to this struggles with bloating after having sweeteners or maybe protein shakes, upset your stomach, then I'd be like, well, let's maybe just reduce that a little bit. But if this works for you, it works for you. I wouldn't want you to have any more. I wouldn't want you to start adding protein bars to it. I'd love you to get most of your protein from real food. Sounds like to me you're getting 40 grams of your protein a day from like your yogurt and your protein powder. I think that that's okay. Next, I've realised that my bad snacking has come from habit stacking. Watching TV equals snack. Relaxing my husband equals cheese. Reading my book in the garden equals wine. I link snacks with relaxing. So common. And also really insightful. So well done for noticing that. I'm with you on this. Me and Fran I always called it New Love Chub, because when we got together, our favourite thing to do was to go to the shop downstairs, because I lived in a flat, go to the shop downstairs, spend a tenner on chocolate, go upstairs, cuddle, eat chocolate, watch films, all of that. Now, there had to come a certain point where we were like, this isn't helping, because if you're doing that every day, then yeah, it's not going to help. And even now, we'll have days or, weekends where we're just going to have a chill. Or even we associate a sunny day and walking the dog on a Saturday with stopping for a pint. And yesterday we went for a walk, he had a pint and I had a blackcurrant soda, because I was like, I can't just keep getting like reined into the decision making. I can't just link it's summer now, so I can't do that all the time. So this is good, you've noticed that link. Now, there's not a problem with snacking while you're relaxing. I don't think that there's a problem with it. I think we need to continue habit stacking, but maybe replace the food. So for example, if you're watching telly and you fancy a snack, instead of having chocolate and sweets and crisps, can we have a nutritious snack? And that could be where you have your yogurt bowl. Or it could be where you have, relaxing with husband. It might equal cheese and crackers, but it doesn't have to. It could equal carrot and hummus, or it could equal a couple of Baby Bell Lights. Like, it's just as easy as for you to do what I did yesterday and be like, you do you, I'm going to have this instead. And I'm not going to feel bad about a decision that I've made for my health. I'm not going to feel like I'm missing out because I made this choice. I'm taking radical responsibility for it. Reading your book, glass of wine, swap that glass of wine for a really nice juice. Exciting. Or like a low calorie drink. Go to the shop and get yourself a low calorie, a zero Rio. I had a Rio Zero the other day. Gorgeous. So refreshing. Put it in a glass with ice. Make it special. Use a straw if you really want to. Like, you don't need to always have the wine. You can have a nice enjoyable drink. It can be something else. But good that you've noticed that. Okay, can you help me find some easy ways to increase my fruit and veg intake without feeling like I'm forcing it? I know that I've mentioned this a few times over the last couple of weeks, but don't overcomplicate fruit and veg. Just simply think 2 plants in every meal. So if you have a sweet breakfast every morning, it could be overnight oats and you have blueberries and strawberries, done. Or you have blueberries and banana, done. That's you. That's it. Every day, they're your fruit. For lunch, again, don't overthink it. If you're having a wrap, put some stuff, some salad, some greenery on that wrap. Some salad leaves, some tomatoes, some cucumbers. Make it nice. Put a bit of effort into it. Take pride in your wraps. Or if you're making a pasta, instead of just having tuna, mayo and pasta, put some sweet corn in, put some spring onions in, put some leaves in, add, like it makes the meal bigger, it makes it denser, it makes you more full. So have the meals you're already having, but play the game of how many plants can I add to this meal. Every single time I follow a recipe, I just add extra plants. So I might chop some carrots up, throw it in, adds a handful of spinach. I might just throw peas. Like I literally, especially for dinner time, if I'm making a dirty rice, a paella, a curry, anything where, a chili, anything where it like sits and cooks, I just throw plants in. I don't stick to the recipe. I'm like, carrots will be fine, chop them up, put them in. If you want a savoury breakfast, instead of just having eggs on toast with butter, have eggs on avocado or eggs and spinach and tomato. Eggs, spinach, tomato and mushroom in a pan with garlic. Unreal. You're not forcing it. You're just making the meal better. And I know you might think, I don't like veg. I don't like veg. If you put a roast dinner in front of me and there was plain steamed veg or there was plain broccoli, your girl's not eating it. Okay, I need flavour. So that's why it goes in stuff. Like, I don't want to eat salad, but I'll eat salad when it's with chicken and with, Perimenopause, or if it's a nice salad with olive oil, or like I'll have fruit. Very rarely just eat fruit. I mean, I do like fruit, but, I put it in yogurt bowls. Me evening meals, I don't have meat, veg, carb. It's a recipe, it's a thing, it's a chili, it's a curry, it's a paella, it's a dirty rice, and all the veg is chopped up and it's in there, it's all the goodness is in there, but I just don't notice it. So you're not forcing it, you're just like making the meal better, you're making it more nutritious. Can you speak a bit more about one-to-one check-ins and how these work, and explain a bit about one-to-one coaching, as this is something I might consider in future? So basically, one-to-one coaching is for people who, usually I say, if people are unsure about what to do, I say join the Confidence Club first. That's your group coaching, that's your group support, your group accountability. And if you're still not sticking to it, even though you've got a program, your targets, you've got that group there, and you're still not doing what you need to do, or you still feel like you're not learning quickly enough, then try one-to-one. So one-to-one coaching is basically, I'm just on top of you a little bit more. So I'll message you throughout the week to see how things are going. But then our check-ins are more thorough, more personalised and more in-depth. So every single week I'll ask you to fill in a form similar to the group one, but a little bit different questions. And then I'll send you a video response where I bring up all the data on the app. I bring up your food diary, look at what you've been eating. Like at the moment when you're in the Confidence Club, I'm not specifically looking at your food unless you tell me to or ask me to, you know, whereas when you're doing one-to-one, I'm like looking at what weights you're lifting. I'm looking if we need to tweak workouts. I'm asking you questions about why stuff isn't happening. I'm asking you questions about specific meals. I'm wondering why this part of your food diary is empty. I'm helping you prepare for social occasions. I'm helping you problem solve on a one-to-one basis privately each week. It is more valuable, more supportive, and it does bring about faster results depending on the individual. Some people join the Confidence Club and they thrive. They'll paying that $39.99 a month is enough for them, and having a community is enough for them to do what they need to do. Others join the group and they just get lost. They don't get involved in the group chat. They don't do the check-ins. They don't listen to these podcasts that I do every week, and they just don't do the program because no one's on them. Whereas when it's one-to-one, it's like I'm on you. Like I'm more involved, I'm more keeping you more accountable. So that's the difference. There's different options for one-to-one coaching. We have a more like a weekly check-in option or a bi-weekly check-in option. And on the week that you don't have a one-to-one check-in, you get involved in the Q&A. So yeah, that's more info about one-to-one. If you do want to know more about that, drop me a message. If you're not currently a member of the community, because I don't often talk about one-to-one, if you do want one-to-one support, then just drop me a message on Instagram, Hayley Bell Fitness. Okay, would you recommend, so this person is going through Stims. So Stims is a part of the IVF process where you inject yourself every day to stimulate follicles to produce an egg. Now, normally every month, everyone produces, well, most people produce one egg. So you get one egg from one ovary every month. Whereas with Stims, we want to promote both ovaries to produce as many eggs as we can, really. So we're trying to get like a few from each. So during Stims, the recommendation from a lot of people is to not exercise. However, I don't agree with this. I know for a fact that when I do IVF again, I will continue lifting weights. The main thing that they're concerned about is ovarian contortion, because as the ovaries get bigger, because there's so many eggs being stimulated, they have a higher risk of twisting. So we say to not do any like sit-ups, crunches, all of those types of things, or twisting, things like Russian twists and all of that. But you best believe I'm still going to be doing my squats, my deadlifts, me single leg RDLs. I'll still do hip thrusts. Like I'll still be lifting, because last time I wrapped myself up in cotton wool, and it's not that didn't help. It's that I could have still trained and I should have still trained for my mental health. And I think there's a fine line between managing that and your mental health. So you might not want to train. You might want to be like, right, I'm not going to do anything. And that's absolutely fine. And so you can do what I did, which I did yoga. I literally Googled yoga for Stims and just did yoga for that. And then I was doing yoga for the 2-week wait. One thing that I would recommend is definitely keep going for walks, definitely keep your body moving, definitely do yoga, and, you know, like try and keep moving and doing things that make you feel happy. Listen to good music, get out and about with your friends. Don't lock yourself up in a room for a couple of weeks like I did. Like I when I do it again, will be going to work, will be going to the gym, will be doing my walks. I'm going to carry on life as normal. But that's just my choice, because last time I didn't handle it well when I didn't do that. And it's each to their own. Everyone needs to do what they want to do. I've had clients who have carried on during the stims and we've just adjusted things. And I've had clients who've completely stopped. In my opinion, like the ones who trained have had successful IVFs. The ones who didn't have had successful IVFs. Some who trained didn't. Some who didn't train didn't. I genuinely, like with pregnancy, don't think that there's much that you can do in the gym that can impact your success of IVF. I think it's 99% down to egg quality, sperm quality, the thickness of the lining of your womb, and all of those things are impacted by your health in the 90 days lead up to IVF, as well as your partner's health or the sperm's health in the 90 days lead up, and then your stress levels. And for me, exercise is a stress reliever. Being around people is a stress reliever. It's a distraction. And so I'm not going to give those things up again. For you personally, I would suggest walking and doing yoga as a minimum. You haven't been training for the last few weeks anyway, so don't feel the pressure to go to the gym. I would be doing yoga and walking for sure. And definitely make sure you do things that fill you with joy. So go for walks with your family, your friends, go out with the girls for a meal, do stuff that makes you happy. Okay, next, would I benefit from upping to 4 or 5 sessions a week? I do 3 religiously and I love the time for me. I love that. However, I feel like I've stalled in my progress. I'm also 56, so I do need longer to recover, or do I? I don't want to push myself too hard, but I also want to be the best version of myself. What do you think? I really like this question. First of all, age is just a number. It doesn't really matter that you're 56. Your recovery is down to your sleep and your nutrition. I know girls in their 20s who are shit at recovery because they drink loads of alcohol, they eat shit food, and they stay up on their phone all night scrolling. I know women who are in the 50s or in the late 40s absolutely smashing the gym 5 times and recovering well because the sleep's great and the nutrition's great. So I wouldn't let your age limit you in any way at all. I would think about you as the individual and what you think you can handle. You're doing 3 a week religiously. When you say your progress has stalled, what do you mean by this? If you think your progress has stalled, I want to know, like, how? Is it that the scales have stopped moving? If the scales have stopped moving, maybe you've been on the same calories for the last 6 months and you've exhausted that calorie deficit and we need to adjust. If you think your strength has stalled and you're not getting stronger anymore, then it might not be that you need to train more. It might be that you need to eat more, or it might be that you need to sleep better, or it might be that you need to eat carbs before the gym so that you can give more to your workout. So my progress has stalled could be different things. Is it your weight loss has stalled and training's not going to boost that? That's a calorie adjustment. Is it that your strength has stalled? Training more might improve that, but your fuel and your recovery are very, very important for that. So when you say stalled, I want to know what you mean by that. Please feel free, drop me a WhatsApp. Let's talk about this more, because I'd love to help you with it. But I don't know what you mean by progress is basically what I'm saying. You said you don't want to push yourself too hard. You're not weak, brittle, frail. You're 56. No age, you're strong, you're healthy, you're fit. You're not going to push yourself too hard by going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. This is not the problem. Your age is not the problem. What I would be asking myself if I was you, so these are the things that I consider when I'm increasing my training, which I've literally just done recently, is do I have the time, first of all? So if your life is busy, chaotic, demanding, and it's hard for you to fit those 3 sessions in your schedule, I wouldn't then go and be adding another one in. But if you feel like you have a fair bit of free time, you'd actually love another morning or love another evening in the gym with the girls or in the gym on your own, time for yourself, then do it. It's something that you're craving and you want more of, so that's a great reason to do it. If you're just doing it because you think it'll help you lose weight more, then that's not the reason to increase your training sessions. Instead, we need to look at nutrition and look at day-to-day activity like your steps. They'll make the biggest difference. So yeah, when you're thinking about increasing your training, it's like, do I have capacity in my schedule for it? Do I want to do it? Like, actually want to do it? Or am I doing it because I feel like I need to? Because you don't need to at all. 3 is enough. And then also, what is everything else like? So if I start training more, does that impact anything like your nutrition or like your schedule? Or, do you know what I mean? So I think it isn't about age. You could be 26 answering this question and it would still be a valid question. So forget about that. That's not the deciding factor of this. The deciding factor of it is, why do you want to train more? If it's to lose more weight, then it's the wrong reason. If it's because you love it, then that's the right reason. And then, do you actually have capacity for it? Yes, do it. No, don't do it. Okay? But let's talk about this more. Message me and tell me what you mean by your progress is stalled. Okay, this one is from one of the Lift and Glow gym girls, and anyone listening to this, I want to reassure you that like everyone is welcome at Lift and Glow. So this person said, as one of the older ladies in the gym, my head wobbles sometimes that I'm the old girl in the corner. Stupid, I know, but I do have those worries that creep in that I stand out a mile compared to the rest of the group and that I'm slower in finishing my sets sometimes. I worry what others think, which I know I shouldn't, as we are all there to train. Give me a slap and tell me not to be so ridiculous. So I'm not going to give you a slap, but I am going to tell you not to be so ridiculous. Like, I think a lot of the time, and you're not the only one with it in this situation, a lot of the time when we are in a group situation, we will try and look for the ways that we are different. Now, I've had it where clients of, any age have said they feel like they're the unfit one. And I literally taught that class and thought, well, I'm looking at you and you weren't. Or they'll be like, I feel like I'm the big one. And I'm like, oh, what are you on about? There was so many different body shapes. Or someone in this situation, I feel like I'm the old one. And I'm like, what are you on about? There's literally someone else in your class who is a similar age. Like, we tend to, in group situations, look for a reason that we are different. And it's just normal. It's natural. And it's just a bit of like an anxiousness or, I don't know, I don't know what it is. I want to kind of, what is in my head is the spotlight effect, is that we walk around thinking about ourselves so much that we feel like other people are, it's like this spotlight on us. And we think that everyone else notices those things about us. So like, if I think about an insecurity of mine, I might be in a group environment and people are talking to me and I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, everyone is looking at that. And I just feel like whereas not one other person's even noticed that and wouldn't even be able to guess that's my insecurity when we're in a group situation. And it's this spotlight effect. And even if you just look up the spotlight effect, it will explain it in a much better way than I am. But it's this idea that because we think about ourselves so much, we've got this spotlight on us and we think that everyone else thinks the same thing. I know for a fact not one girl in Lift and Glow is looking around the room and being like, she's old, why is she here? Not a single one. I know that for a fact. And do you know why I know that? It's because every single girl is walking in there with their own insecurities and thinks everyone else is looking at them because of their see-through leggings or their top that's inside out or that their squat isn't deep or that they're the unfit one or that like no one gives a fuck about you in the nicest way possible. I care about you. Like, we all care about you and we all want you to train, but no one gives a fuck about your age. No one gives a fuck how long you take to do your set. Every single person wants you there and wants you to win. And that is like, I've just gave myself goosebumps because that is like the culture of Lift and Glow. I know full well no one looks around and even sees any age. And I think maybe you're thinking that because you have this insecurity for some reason. That, do you feel like you shouldn't be doing this at your age? Do you feel like, you don't deserve a place there at your age? Because I'm telling you that you definitely do, and that you definitely should be there, and that we love having you there. So yeah, like, it makes me sad that you've said this, but like I've said, this isn't the first time someone's had this insecurity, and I understand it, but also it's something that you can let go, and that it isn't real. It's something that your mind is telling you, and that isn't real, that isn't truth. I know not one person is walking around and thinking you're the old girl and thinking, oh, she's slow. Like, not one person. I know that for a fact. Okay? And also, if I could put you in a room with all of our 200 members, you wouldn't feel like the old girl. We have plenty of women who are in their 50s, in their 60s, who are members of the gym. And so, like, it's fine. I've had women in their 40s say this to me, am I too old? And I'm like, what? What's going on? Like, no one is too old, no one is too unfit, no one is too weak, no one is too anything. No one's got the wrong clothes, the wrong shoes, no one is not enough. Everyone is enough, and everyone deserves to be there, and you are supported, and everyone wants you there for sure. So, I don't want to give you a slap, but it's not you're being ridiculous, it's that your brain is being a dick to you. And I would just love you to remind yourself of that. My brain's being a bit of a dick, my brain's highlighting my insecurities, and I'm going to let that go. I deserve to be here. I'm here, and I'm going to do it. Okay, next, I'm finding double crunches hurt my back. I have an arch in my lower spine. Right. One thing with double crunches that we all, not just this person, that every single person needs to think about, before you even think about doing a double crunch, tilt your pelvis and get that lower back flat to the floor. Don't relax between reps. We want to keep the lower back down, and we reach out while keeping our shoulders and legs up, okay? And that lower back stays on the ground. If you're getting space in the lower back, we're not in the right position to be double crunching, and you will feel it in your back, okay? If you look at the videos, which I think you're doing, you will see I actually talk about pushing the lower back into the ground and making sure that we do that. If you've tried and it isn't working for you, do L raises instead. And what that is you lie on the ground, get rid of that space in the lower back, and you lower one leg at a time. Breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. L raise, it's called on the app, if you want to substitute it. Okay, next, I suppose it's just to check if you have any advice for workouts when feeling tired and achy. My legs have been like lead lately, and feel really heavy and stiff, and my energy levels are super low due to poor sleep. I'm determined to do my workouts this week, but the last few times I've tried, I didn't end up finishing them. I've told myself it's just a case of keeping on doing them, and they'll get easier, and I'll get back to a better routine. But if you have any other advice, I'm open to any and all ideas. So, we need to think about this, is that, like, first of all, it's been hot, okay? I'm pretty sure you're a mum. Yeah. Actually, it doesn't say anywhere, so sorry if I've just assumed that. But let's just assume you've had poor sleep, because I have this exact feeling. It's like you've described me this morning. I had a rest day yesterday, and I woke up this morning like, wow, my body, my legs, I had to go like this and peel my eyes open, and I was going to Fran, not today. And I feel tired, okay? I feel fatigued, and I'm pretty sure it's down to the heat and the impact it's having on my sleep. I'm also pretty sure that it's down to the fact that I'm having earlier starts now. Now, you sound like, from earlier on in your check-in, that you're struggling with sleep. And that knock-on effect of poor sleep is impacting your energy levels. And I get that. So all I want you to do is do what I did. It's to just do the fucking thing anyway. I went in today and I did the workout. Did I hit any PBs? No. Did I feel great doing it? No. It took me a full 45 minutes to start feeling like I was like, my mood was lifting. Me and Sammy were both the same. We were like, oh, looking at each other. Oh, fucking hell, here we go. Another set. And I'm grateful that I've got people around me, and that, that helps. But when you're training on your own, don't stop the workout until it's done. You're giving yourself evidence that it's okay to do things and not finish them. Don't do that. Do not give up on yourself. You started the workout, finish it. you might not get that spurt of energy within half an hour. Don't expect yourself to. Expect yourself that you're going to have to drag your ass through the whole workout. That's what I expected of myself today. I did it anyway. And the only reason that I do that is because I've got evidence that in the past it worked. And my energy lifted, my mood lifted. I didn't feel as heavy, lethargic and fatigued. I felt better after training. If I'd have only done half the workout and then walked out, I'd have probably felt a bit like, I feel disappointed, feel frustrated that I've done that. You're setting yourself up for another little bit of disappointment by just doing half. So my advice to you is, don't expect any records to be broken. You don't need to lift the heaviest you've ever lifted, but go in, do the reps and get through the full workout. And every day this week that you go to the gym, you do your full workout. Then you're in the routine of it. Then problem solved. By the end of the first workout, you'll feel proud of yourself that you got through it when you didn't want to do it, and you'll want to do it again. So the answer to this is to just do the workout and not expect it to feel amazing. You're struggling with sleep. You're also not eating the best food. You're lethargic. You feel like your energy is zapped. Do the workout anyway. Fix your nutrition. That will help with your energy. And aim to get to bed earlier. Make your room cooler. Buy a fan. Sleep naked. Take your duvet out of your sheet. Sleep under the sheet. Do whatever you need to do. Sleep with the window open. Do whatever you need to do to have a more comfortable sleep. But we're all struggling with tiredness right now because the heat in the UK, for some reason, doesn't go. And it was so weird, actually, you saying this. When I went into Lift and Glow today, almost every single person who I spoke to was like, I'm so tired. I am so worn out. And I know people find it annoying, but the moon is mooning. Like, full moon was yesterday, I think. And so that can zap us of energy. Just saying. But we should lighten up now the new moon's gone. New moon, full moon. So yeah, I feel your pain, and I'm going through the same struggle as you right now. And I think it's just a case of going in and it being in that 30% of shit workouts. Remember what I said, rule of thirds. 30% of your workouts, great. You're breaking records, you're absolutely smashing it. 30% of records, 30% of workouts, they're all right, they're average. And the last 30% feel like hell, but you do them anyway. And you might not hit your PBs, you might feel like you need more rest, but we get it done. Okay, next, I wanted to ask, I feel I may be entering perimenopause, which I'm going to go and see the GP about, but is it true that people talk about at this stage in life, it makes it harder to lose weight? Okay, so here's the real deal. People say it's harder to lose weight during perimenopause, and it is not because your metabolism is slower. It is not because you've just skipped to being 100 years old. Like, it's not that. The reason that weight loss isn't physiological harder during perimenopause, the rules of weight loss are the same, okay? Your metabolism hasn't slowed down just because you're in perimenopause. The reason weight loss feels harder, so it's not that it is physiological harder, but it feels harder, is because of the symptoms that you are experiencing. So if you have night sweats and you have a shit sleep, it's going to be harder to get to the gym. Not impossible, it can still be done, but it feels harder. When you've had a shit sleep and maybe you've had a bit of insomnia, then that makes it hard to eat nutritious foods because you're wanting sweet stuff. When you're having a bit of anxiety that we might experience with perimenopause, again, that might affect your food choices. That might lead you towards drinking some alcohol. That might lead you to comfort eating. So the symptoms of perimenopause can make it feel harder to lose weight, but they don't physiologically make it harder. Your metabolism hasn't paused and slowed down drastically just because you've hit perimenopause. The metabolism changes are really, really slight and insignificant and unnoticeable. As long as you stick to your healthy habits, you will continue to lose weight during perimenopause, or you can still lose weight during perimenopause. The difficult thing is managing the symptoms, but the things that people struggle with during perimenopause, like sleep, like nutrition choices, so eating more sugar and stuff like that, struggling to exercise, things like drinking more alcohol, those things that people tend to go towards actually make perimenopause symptoms worse. what we need to do to make the symptoms of perimenopause easier is lift weights even when we don't want to, go for walks even when we don't want to, eat nutritious food when we'd rather neck a bottle of wine and a takeaway, eat nutritious food instead of eating fruit and veg instead of eating chocolate, getting ourselves to bed earlier instead of staying up late scrolling on our phones because we can't sleep, doing things like mindfulness and meditation and managing our mental well-being. So the things that are hard to do during perimenopause are actually things that we need to do to make the symptoms easier. So yeah, it's harder in like that respect, but it's not physiologically harder. It's the same. Okay, so what we want to think about is managing symptoms, and the best way for you to manage your perimenopause symptoms right now, while it isn't confirmed, is to focus on healthy habits. Reduce stress, sleep as much as you can, reduce your sugar, increase your fiber and your protein, and lift weights and do your steps. Okay, same as always, them healthy habits, them fundamentals, them basics that never ever change. They're what we need to be focusing on even more so than before, because we've got another reason to focus on them now. It's not just about weight loss, it's about managing your perimenopause symptoms. When you go to the GP and you get your blood test done, they will talk to you about other things. Maybe HRT is going to be recommended. I don't know. I don't think, it's not a blanket recommendation, but yeah, your healthy habits, even if you do go on HRT, your healthy habits are absolutely fundamental and crucial to making perimenopause the best experience that it can be. It's never going to be easy, but we can help ourselves out by living by healthy habits. Okay, that is all. That was a great check-in. Like, I really loved that. Please don't forget to rate, review, comment, share, whatever you can do to support the podcast. It doesn't necessarily help me, apart from helping me help more women like you. My ultimate goal is to have more of an impact on women's health. It's to share what I know with you. It's to help women stop with the myths, stop with the things that are wasting the time, stop with the, you know, the silly fat loss restrictive shit that people do, and to see that focusing on your health, focusing on your well-being is the thing to get you feeling your best. And so if you can rate, comment, share, review, whatever it is that you can do, engage with the podcast, that would let me help more women like you. So do your bit. If you're not part of the community and you want to become part of this amazing community, either at the gym or online, if you are somewhere further afield, then just click the link in the show notes. If you have any questions about it at all, send me a message on Instagram. I'm Hayley Bell Fitness. And yeah, I will be more than happy to help and answer any questions. Have an amazing week, and I will see you all soon. Bye.